This is Stevie Banks. Stevie Banks, you failed. You did absolutely nothing while the rest of the world got infected. Let's see what this scenario looks like here when it gets completely infected, which should happen right now. There it is. Oh, come on. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Quarantine. I'm your host, Bud, known as Falcon. We're in the Prion hard mode scenario. As you can see, we are just about ready to kick the ass of this disease for good. We're doing really amazing. I kind of limited myself this time to making sure we won, or at least trying to win without actually finding the cure. It does seem you could actually win by just disinfecting the pre-existing cities that have been infected beforehand. If you use the disinfect skill, whenever you cure a city and drop it to 0, it can no longer be reinfected, meaning you could actually win just by doing that. And that's kind of like the goal I'm aiming for here today, because I wanted to do something different for the last scenario over here today. So, without further ado, this should be the last video, at least until the next content update, and we will check it out then. I hope you guys have enjoyed the series thus far, and thanks for all the support. You guys have been really amazing with this series, so I do appreciate that. For now, let's actually get underway over here and wrap this up. So, I'm gonna say we start off by sending the diplomat over to Cairo here for now. Heal this operative here momentarily. We also need to pick up another tech, right? Yes, we do. And I wanted to get the extra operative because it'll make things a lot easier for us. Let's go ahead and do this one. We also have enough money to get the other engineer, which would probably knock this down to 1 day wait. Right? No, it's still 2 days. Really? It doesn't knock it down. I guess basically when you do 4 of 4, it's 1 day only, huh? Well, I don't know about that. Did that even reduce it at all? Were we at 3, 4, and then we went down to a 2, or what? Eh, whatever. Well, either way, I just gave him free money, possibly. So now we have Teresa, Hans, and Monica left over. If we cure this one right now with Monica, it should technically wipe the disease for good. Oh, you took damage, though, from Mogadishu, which is fine. Okay, so now we have Teresa and Hans left over. If we take care of this area here with our boy Hans Schroeder, who took damage as well. Come on, guys, what's the problem here, huh? All we have left over now is Mexico City, Marrakesh, and Santiago. Infection level's at 0. The problem is I can't cure it unless they actually go up to level 1, I'm pretty sure. So, at this point with Teresa, all I really can do is... Well, I actually have enough money to quarantine. Should I quarantine? What happens if I quarantine Santiago? Okay, quarantine Santiago. So, technically speaking, it's not going to spread, which is fine. But do you guys get levels when you're quarantined, I wonder? We'll see. End turn. No, so they actually do not get any levels. So you see the crazy thing here is I have to let them get infected, so the quarantine has to go down before I actually cure it. No shit. Okay. Well, that's the case in Mexico City, unfortunately. Yeah, see, the city has no infection, so I have to wait for them to go up to, like, level 1 before I can cure it completely. I see. Alrighty, so I have to let you guys get infected. What a crazy notion, huh? What a crazy notion. Oh, you guys have to be sick before it could... Well, if somebody isn't sick, how can you cure him beforehand, Falcon? That's a very good point. But you know what? Don't talk to me about fucking semantics and logic here, okay? Well, I mean, since we can't do much with anybody, I suppose we just heal our operatives. Talking, how does it work? I don't know. My mouth does things that it doesn't want to do sometimes. And please don't misconstrue that the wrong way, okay? I don't want to hear your oral jokes. I know you guys and your oral jokes. You expected to come from me. Oh, well, Falcon, you make all those jokes all the time. Well, it's fine if I make them. I'm the one making them. It's okay. But you guys can't make them at my expense. It's just my thing. It's a thing I do. Diplomat guy. Don't have enough money to hire anything. Diplomat guy, we have to let this infect, so we just end our turn. Diplomat guy, you just hang out wherever you're at. Where are you at right now? Diplomat dude is over in Cairo. Alright, so Mexico City is now infected. Now it's time for us to swoop in there. With, let's see. Let's send Hans Schroeder. Alrighty, Mexico City has now been cured as well. All we have to do is wait for Santiago and Marrakesh to get level 1, and we are technically done. We got the extra operative. Do we need anything at this point? Not really. Not really. But let me get the extra field. Why not? We have 85,000. Let's drop it over here. Look, it dropped down to 1 day. So after 1 day, we basically unlock the text now. That's crazy. Craziness. All right. So, I mean, all we really do now is just wait, right? Yeah, we just gotta make sure they get infected. End of turn. Marrakesh and Santiago. There it is, guys. This should be game over, I'm pretty sure. So, advanced treatment. Teresa, take care of that. Dunsky. You know what, just because I'm a baller, let's go to Santiago. Establish the office first. Let's go ahead and use up all my funds. Establish that office there. And there it is. Santiago. Advanced treatment. Let's send our boy Hans to take care of that. And there it is. We won. We won. This has got to be like a record for a really short episode here. What a short episode. Good God. I was expecting a bit more. We did so good. What was that, like turn 14 or 13? Jesus Christ. That was the Prion one, too. The virus gave me a lot more of a difficult problem than this one. I really wonder if it's all based on, obviously, a little bit of RNG luck when it comes to events. Oh, that's the thing. That's the thing. We didn't get too many events this time around. With the virus, I felt like we had an event like every other turn. But it does seem the further into the game you get, the more events you actually get popped up against you, which can really hurt you. Well, either way, I mean, it worked out swell. The medic focus actually helped us out quite a bit. And that's it, guys. We can't really do anything else. We've done the bacteria. I mean, granted, we did this in normal, but, you know, I did virus and Prion at hard, so what's the point now? I did bacteria and medium. I mean, I guess I could do it on hard, but So yeah, we're done with everything. So at this point, we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a thumbs up, leave a like. The support does mean a lot, and I do appreciate the support for the series. You guys were amazing with it. You guys showed a lot of support for it. You're really into it, so I do appreciate that. I guess I'll keep an eye out now at this point, and whenever a new content update shows up, I will hopefully cover it, and it's a lot more to do. I really want them to do a campaign. I read in the Steam forums a lot of people have been suggesting a campaign, and what's really weird is that the response from the developers, I guess, was like, oh, we're considering it, as in like, I'm not sure if it never crossed their head. And I'm thinking, like, if that's really the case, did it really not cross your mind to do a campaign? A campaign would be great, as opposed to like these little single scenarios, I guess. I mean, you'd have to add a lot more story, but I think if you had a campaign with a lot of story, and maybe even mix it up, have a bacteria and a disease, or a bacteria and a virus together, with more of a story focus. I mean, still keep the same gameplay, obviously, but just have more story in there. I think that would work out splendidly, but at the moment, there was apparently no plans for it, but they're considering it now. So we'll keep an eye out, and we'll see how quarantine comes to play. In case you want to see more of this, and well, not more of this from the channel, but in case you enjoyed what this is all about, in the first episode I mentioned this game is very similar to Pandemic. Check out Pandemic. It's a board game, mind you, so you do need to be able to play with a couple of friends, so if you have a couple of friends that are into board games, check out Pandemic. It's very similar to this, just in a board game scenario, and a lot more in depth. You could have a lot of fun with that game. Just a bit of a FYI for you. That's it for us for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I will catch you next time. Well, what do we got over here, huh? What do we got over here? I got a little bit of an extra for the people who actually watch the entire video to the very end. I'll make sure that there's like a little bit of a small blackout between the transition to the end of the video, how it ended, and this over here. I was actually curious to see what actually happens when you lose, because, as I mentioned before, I've done terrible, but I've never actually lost. Like, usually by the time I've completely lost the game, I just reloaded and then played again. Before I started recording for the series, obviously, when I was doing really terrible. For the series, you know, I was a baller in the series, oddly enough. But anyway, I'm over here patting my back now, which is not my style. But I was actually quite curious about what happens if you actually completely fill out the infection level, just to see what the end screen might look like. So here we are. I went ahead and simulated the scenario. I've sped it up here to this point, and I think one more turn should just about do it for us here. So, who's this guy? This is Stevie Banks. Stevie Banks, you failed. You did absolutely nothing while the rest of the world got infected. Let's see what this scenario looks like here when it gets completely infected, which should happen right now. There it is. Oh, come on. It's the same thing as the win scenario then. You know, with the win scenario, you get the green one and everybody's happy. With this one, it's like a red tint and everybody's down and out. You lost control of the epidemic. Reason? Too many people got infected by the disease. Well, yeah, I mean, too many people? Like, talk about, like, that was like all of, like, South America, Africa, and a lot of Europe too, wasn't it? Well, there you go. That's what happens when you actually lose. Nothing really too crazy. I was just kind of curious to see what happened. Because as I mentioned, I really wanted to see like a little like parade scenario when you won. And we didn't get that. So maybe when the infection happened, they give you like some cool like art style. Like people just like, well, I mean, it's not cool to see people dying in the streets from disease. But I'm just saying, it'd be a lot more dramatic. It'd be a lot more an effect and more of an impact on your overall well-being for failing the world. But that's all we get. Yeah. Alrighty guys, well I hope you really enjoyed it this time around. We're done for good. Or are we? Maybe all you know is gonna be another cut right now and suddenly we're doing something else. Huh? No, it's really nothing else. We're done. I'll catch you guys next time.